And we are live. Hi, everyone. Welcome to Manifesting Monday, Monday Spotlight. And I am here with Terza Ekholm of the Terza Factor. And so, Terza, thank you for joining me today.
Thank you so much for having me on, Teresa.
Yes, I am excited to have you on. And, what I usually like to do in the beginning of these is I like to talk a little bit. And first, I introduce you. I introduce all my guests first, and I let everybody know how I know you and why I love and respect you. And anybody that I have on, and anybody that I have on, I give a lot of compliments because I really do love my friends. I really do. And then I mix business with friendship all the time. And so, it's just something that I love to do. So thank you, for being on here. And I just think you're fantastic. We're already getting a thumbs up from Denise. Thanks for joining, Denise. So, I put all of your information on all of my platforms to let everybody know that I'm spotlighting you. So thank you for joining live. And for those of you who are just coming to the recording, make sure you stay till the end. And then there's some people at the end, Terza, that they'll hop on the end. And I always tell them to go back to the beginning and watch, because there's going to be some really great stuff. So let me start out by letting everybody know why I think Terza is fantastic. And what she has to offer is really great and worth spotlighting. So actually, I'll let you talk about that. What I'm going to talk about is how we know each other, and then we'll talk a little bit more about what you have. So Terza and I met at eWomen Networking, and Terza is actually out of state. So I'm in Nevada, and Terza's in Colorado, right? So we're a little bit of time difference, but the silver lining to all of this, us being distancing and whatnot, is that I have met so many fantastic people that I would not have ever met if it wasn't for all of this social distancing and the change. We're coming to a new normal, and I'm so happy that I now know Terza. And so she and I met, and right away she popped out to me because of your background and your energy. So Terza, you see on there, she's an artist. She's a creator of wearable art. But her background was one of your pieces. Do you do that sometimes in Zoom? You have one of your pieces, like some of your pieces in the background?
I do.
I remember it was a vibrant. It was like this green ocean green mixture of blue. I love those colors. And then you reached out to me, I believe. I believe that you reached out to me, and I was like, yes, a go-getter, just the kind of gal I like in my circle, business and personal. That's perfect. So we hopped on the phone, and then we hopped on Zoom. Maybe we did both, and got to know each other. And so obviously, I really think Terza is fantastic. And so I talked to her, and I thought, what? I want to spotlight Terza and share her with everybody here. And she has some really great things that she has created, and I want you to show them to everyone today. So that's how I know Terza. And so Terza, why don't you introduce yourself and let everybody know who you are and what you have to offer.
Well, first of all, Teresa, thank you so much. That was such a beautiful introduction. Teresa and I, yes, we met at eWomen Network, and then of course we've connected digitally as we do with so many things these days. But there was a special, spark between us, current. I don't know. It was so easy to talk to you, Teresa. It was like we were old friends already.
That's what I know. That's what I know. There's a perfect connection. I'm like, when it's easy to talk, I'm grasping onto those people now. Like, please belong to my circle. Thank you. You're very easy to talk to as well.
Thank you. Thank you. So, believe it or not, my first career was software engineering. Which I loved. That's what I did when I graduated from high school. I went to the University of Colorado, and anyway, just went right into engineering and did that for 18 years. That's where I met my second husband. And then we were both laid off within 30 minutes of each other one summer. And the good news was that I was looking forward to doing something else. I didn't know what it was. he was not. And the other piece of good news is that all of our kids were grown up and they were already onto their own life journeys. So it was just going to be Greg and I, and whatever happened, we knew we'd manage, whatever it would be. So he stayed in the industry. He was a contractor basically until he retired. And I tried several different things, lots of entrepreneurial things, solar networking, solar panel rentals, all kinds of interesting stuff. And a friend of mine who was both a businesswoman and an artist invited me to take a look at what kind of art she was creating. And I was just fascinated because it was textiles, but it wasn't just quilting, which is kind of what I'd been expecting. And I went, I want to do stuff like that. She invited me into her circle of friends. And because I'm not trained as an artist, honestly, I never took an art class in my life before this. And they would just sort of throw things at me and say, what would you do with this? And I loved it. I loved trying to figure out what I might do with it. I loved one of the things that they said, there's no rules. So a little bit later, they encouraged me to take some classes, learn the rules, they said, and then go do what you want anyway. So I never had any problem doing that. And then fast forward a couple of years later from that, and one of my artist friends talked about putting her designs on T-shirts and mugs, coffee mugs, and that kind of thing. And that was still in the beginning of this industry. And I kind of played around with it, but I wasn't too impressed until I came across some places that were making things like tunics and leggings and beautiful scarves and also shoes. And that really, all of these things caught my attention. And I was like, oh, this is so amazing. So
that is so awesome. And I love how you said that you don't follow rules. I don't follow rules. I do the right thing, but especially when it comes to art, some of the biggest artists, did they really follow rules? Yes, get education, get educated and know certain techniques and everything. But then, and I love your unique style and the stuff that you have to offer. Scarves. I love scarves, and anybody who knows me has known me for a long time. I wear scarves, and it's getting to be that kind of weather right now. So, I'll give a little bit of, Terza has a lot to offer. You can look at her website, but today she's going to be talking about scarves, and I'm just going to throw that out there because those of you who follow me and you see my videos, especially during the winter, really, I'm always wearing a scarf of some sort. And I have my own, scarf here that I've had for years. I have a ton of them that I just love. And when Terza told me about her scarves, when we talked, we actually met months ago, but when we talked a few weeks ago, I think it was, I was like, oh, tell me about those, and you're excited about them anyway, because they're unique. So why don't you do you have any, is there any more about that you want to share before you go into your scarves?
Just a little bit. I'll explain a little bit about my process, which is I use alcohol inks on ceramic tiles, and I take pictures of those. I also use watercolors and acrylic paints and whatever other things that come to hand, including some other fibers and that kind of thing. And I create the design, and then I take a picture of it. And then I sort of have to massage the design to fit whatever article of clothing that it's going to be on. So scarves are maybe a little bit easier because they tend to be either rectangular or square. But things like a tunic, you have to then think about sleeves and how it fits and whether or not it's got a waistband and all kinds of things. And I have to say leggings are probably the hardest. There's nothing straight about a legging. And then the way that where the seams show up and everything, that kind of thing. So those are a lot trickier, but no less fun. So for me, it ended up being a combination of the art creating with my hands, which is what I fell in love with, and my computer background, which it was a great career. I love high tech. I'm still a geek at heart, So
I love geek. I'm a geek too. I do a little bit of IT, not trained or anything, but I definitely, you see my books back there. I'm all about nerd. I love smart. It's the new cool.
That's right. That's right.
Completely is. Well, why don't you, yeah, let's
I'll
demonstrate.
show
Why
you
don't you
some.
show everyone a couple of your scarves, including the one that I'm thinking about.
I will, I will show that one too. So first I'm going to start with my polyester scarves because these were the first ones that I began with before I moved on to other fabrics. And again, this one is, so this is a 55 by 55 inch square scarf. So I'm going to try to step back a little bit so you can see it. It's still actually folded in half. And this is a, you probably can't see the whole thing, but this inner square is a ceramic tile that's 6 inches by 6 inches. And because I was able to get some good quality photographs of it, it turned out to be a very nice inner square part. And then, of course, it just has a nice thick border around the edges.
It's so pretty. It's
For
very
effect.
nice.
And I am aligned with another artist here in town who likes to put bling on things. She does the most beautiful blinged creations, not coffee mugs, sorry, stemless wine tumblers and water bottle, all kinds of beautiful things. Oh, amazing bracelets. But for me, she has put some bling on the scarves. So this particular scarf, actually, you may not be able to see so much on camera, but it's slightly darker on one side. And so we have the bling on the side that's not quite as dark. So we learn as we go along. And so now we know that there are two sides to a scarf, and I can tell her which way to go.
And so if someone wants that particular scarf, you'll put the bling will be on the outside. They
yes.
sparkle and bling. I've learned to like bling and sparkle. Oh, it's so pretty. I love how you have the background too. We were talking about that, you guys, when we first got on, because she has all black, and then wearing black, so you can the colors pop out. They look beautiful. It's beautiful.
You get a chance to see it kind of that way. So you can wear it as kind of, it's almost, I mean, you can't see, I wish I could show you, but this goes almost down to the, almost down to my ankles. But remember, I'm 5 foot. I'm 5 foot tall. So, but you can, one of the things I like about these, I'm sometimes not as nice speaking about polyester, but here's the deal with polyester. You can throw this in your suitcase and you go traveling and you can whip it out, and you maybe if you need to shake it out a little bit or whatever, and voila, it's still wearable.
Are you kidding?
Back in the day when we were going to things like eWomen Network Conference in Dallas, right?
It'll happen again.
It would be July or August. It's boiling hot outside, but we're in a hotel conference room.
That's right.
And the air conditioning is pouring down because it's hot outside. So you whip this out of your bag and wrap this around you, and that's all you need. You don't necessarily need some big bulky thing, right?
I agree.
So, go ahead.
That's it. I'm so glad you mentioned that. We talked about that before we got on live, because I do the same thing. That's why I always carry my scarves, and then the bigger ones, the pashminas, because it's the same thing. Even in summer, when you know the air conditioner is going to just be blasting, just bring it along. Yes. And polyester. Some of my best my dresses are polyester. I do not.
Oh yeah. Oh, I have to tell a quick story. So my husband and I were going on cruises, and I had to laugh at one cruise because you know how we women, we like to pack a lot of things, and you see us with our big suitcases and everything. And honestly, now that the last eWomen conference that I went to, half my big suitcase was shoes and the rest was clothing. But on this cruise, right, it's mainly we had shorts and swimsuits and stuff like that, but we wanted to dress nice for the more formal dinners. Well, because most of my stuff was polyester, I could fit it into a much smaller suitcase than my husband, and he had to have this big garment bag, so he had his suit in there, and I was just laughing because I'm like, I'm done.
That's awesome. Oh, I love polyester too, and then you can roll it. This is not about me, but I get what you're saying about packing. Yes. So why don't you demonstrate to everyone? And and what I love you guys too about they're versatile, they're beautiful, they're unique. That's one thing I love about Terza's wearable art.
So I have there's a whole variety of different colors of this type of scarf on my website. I will grab one. This one's a more Christmassy color. I didn't show you this one, but one of the things you can do with alcohol inks is play with different colors that you might not think would go together on the same tile. And so this one, I call this one more of my Christmas one. I don't know if that's the official title, but
so very pretty.
So that's a little bit different there. And this one has no bling on it, but bling can be added to any of the scarves.
Good to know. If you guys are into bling, you can add that.
And the artist that I work with knows my taste. She knows I like elegant and classy. So she knows just how to put it on. So it's just enough to look beautiful and blingy without overdoing it. She's really great with that.
Oh, I love
Her name is Chris Dyer, by the way. So the other thing is, then this year, I've been looking for other scarves that would take my designs. So I've been looking for cotton or linen or silk. I really wanted silk. So one of the things that I love to play with as a textile artist are silk fibers. So some of my creations, which I still need to take pictures of and put on my website, are made with silk fibers. I have sculptures made with silk fibers. I have big painting type things made with silk fibers. Silk to me has this lovely luster, even for the raw silk. So one of the things that I was looking at, so I'm going to start with this blue one here first. This one is a silk modal combination, and Teresa was helping me out by looking up what modal is. It's a semi-synthetic, which makes it apparently easy to use, and it blends well with the silk. So this one is, do you remember what we said this was? 30 by 72, something like that?
Is that the largest? The largest one was 36 by 72, but then there was one that was 18. That looks like the 18, maybe.
No, this one's the 36.
Is that the 30? Okay.
Yeah, the 18. I'll show the 18 next.
Oh, I see.
This one again.
And the modal, it's a type of rayon. So just so you guys know, like all of these are soft. You know, I'm all about comfort and soft. I love fancy, but you know, I want it to be comfortable. Even my, jeans and my t-shirts, they're comfy and
that's what's so beautiful about this. So then you can, again, if you just want to drape it this way, there's what they call the standard drape, but it brings out the different colors then on each side. But of course, one of those things you can do is if you hold it in half like this, and then you bring it down and bring this through the loop that was there, and you can do this. So there's all kinds of fun.
Especially if you need to put your jacket on, or if it's snowing or something like that, or lots of good stuff. I love that. Why don't you show everyone maybe the other ones, and then we can tell everybody. I do want you to highlight as well about your designs being unique, because they are.
Thank you. So this one is actually based on an acrylic pour that I wasn't pleased with the way it was turning out. So rather than throw it away or anything, I took pictures of it as it was forming. And those are the photographs that I used to create this one. So this one is a very large one. This particular one is organic cotton and silk.
I love that one.
So
I love it. I'm trying to think of, there's an artist, you guys, whoever's watching, there's an artist that I can't think of his name right now, but it reminds me of that. It's interesting. Like, I love that you don't follow rules, but then in art, just with anything, you think you make a mistake and then you come out with something beautiful. Even medicine, penicillin was something of an accident. Yeah.
So, yes.
So pretty.
So one of the things that's interesting also about this, about the scarves especially, everyone is unique and different. they never, I never create them the same. So even though I might have been using the same basic artwork, because of where you can hone in on the different parts of the original painting or the original photo, you come out with something completely different. And that makes me happy. I love having a lot of different unique things you can come with just one picture. And so before we got on online, I was sharing a story with Teresa about a celebrity. Now, remind you, I heard this a few years ago, and it wasn't the sort of thing where I ever tracked it down. So, number one, I don't know the name of the celebrity, and I don't know the entire background of the story, but apparently she loved to wear beautiful, unique dresses, and there was a special celebrity event that she was going to. So she went and had a piece designed just for her, and she spent thousands of dollars to get it, and it was gorgeous. And she showed up at this event, and she looks across the room, and another good friend of hers who was also a celebrity was wearing the exact same thing. So fortunately, they were good friends. So they met in the middle of the room and they embraced and they had a good laugh over it. But behind the scenes, they were a little upset because they both spent thousands of dollars on their unique creations. Mine are all unique. There's no duplicates. So just wanted to share that. So as an example, this is going to be a similar design. This is on silk. This is called silk twill. So it's pure silk. But it's different from that same painting. It comes across quite a bit differently. And it's even darker tones. I'm not quite sure why that happened that way, but so then there's this one. And the other thing I want to share that's very special now, I have now reached a point where I put my own private label on things, and I'm trying to find the label. And I don't know how much you'll be able to see this, but I will bring it up to the camera. Oops, there we go. So that's got my logo and my website, and one of my favorite sayings, which is, allow the universe to give back to you today. So, and I think that's true anytime, but especially this time when so many of us have had so many different things to deal with. I think we all deserve to give ourselves a pat on the back, celebrate who we are, and this is one very special way to do that.
It is, and they are unique, and I want everyone here to be unique. I'm unique, Tears is unique, own it, and allow the universe to bring to you today, every day. When you read the label, I love that, Terza. When you read the label on another one, it was different. So it was a different saying. Do you have different sayings, or is that the one?
No, that was the one.
Oh, that was the one. I don't know why it popped out to me even more right now when you said that, because it is true. When you try to just force, it's like, it's not going to happen. Be yourself, be your unique self, be the best version of yourself, and then the universe does bring you things all the time. We got another, thank you, Carol, for the thumbs up and joining. So, Terza, thank you so much for joining me today. I believe we covered everything. Is there anything else that you can think of that we missed before we point everybody in your direction?
Definitely do visit my website. It's easiest if you think of the item that you want. In other words, search for silk scarves or search for scarves or leggings or that kind of thing. The other thing I just wanted to add to that, though, is I have a lot of different designs out there. If you see a design on one article of clothing that you're absolutely not interested in, but you'd like that design to be put on something else, send me a message. It may be something that I can do for you. And also, I will design specifically for you if we meet together and go over some details.
That's awesome. I love that. Thank you so much, Terza, for joining. You guys visit Terza's website, get a hold of her. I'm looking at the very large silk, the beige. It was beige, right? It's like that one is my favorite. So I'm looking at that one. But you guys, even if I get that one, you can still have that, because Terza, you can still order and design, but then they're going to be unique, so it won't be exactly like mine, but it'll be very similar, just as beautiful. So thank you everyone for joining. If you're just joining now, go back to the beginning, watch from the beginning. There's a lot of great stuff here. So Terza, go ahead and stay on, but I'm going to stop the live broadcast. Thanks everyone. I'll see you soon.